So this week, Keir Starmer has been speaking to Interpol, which is already the wrong way round because Interpol should be speaking to Keir Starmer about his complicity in war crimes in Palestine and Lebanon. He went to their conference in Scotland, and at that conference he said that he wanted to treat people smugglers like terrorists, which feels like the new Godwin's law, isn't it? If you don't like someone, you call them Nazis. Now, if you don't like someone, you call them terrorists. If I was escaping a war zone and Keir Starmer is refusing to help me and somebody offers to take my money and put me in a small boat across the channel, regardless of the fact that they might be on the make and they might be dodgy and the boat might sink and all the rest, I'd actually be enormously grateful to that person because at least they are doing something to get me to safety, which Keir Starmer is not doing. So whatever he is calling these people, they're still a notch above him as far as I'm concerned. I mean, also this way that we just constantly refer to people as terrorists. We can disagree with people's actions, we can disagree with the way in which they go about trying to achieve their goals. But by calling people terrorists, we just sort of dismiss whether they might actually have a point and be trying to resist something that is bad. And sometimes it actually would be more useful to stop throwing around words like terrorist and go, hold on a minute, what is it that has led to this situation and why is it British colonialism? Because it always turns out to be British colonialism, doesn't it? Keir Starmer says he's going to give an extra £75 million to Border Security Command, doubling the existing funding, and that's the part of Interpol that essentially sort of polices the channel and tries to turn small boats around. It achieves nothing, right? Because if you're in a small boat that gets turned around, what happens is you get back in that small boat or an even smaller boat at some other time when you're less likely to be stopped, such as in the dead of night or during rough seas. It undoubtedly leads to more deaths and certainly doesn't protect anybody. He's also going to give Border Security Command the power to close down suspected traffickers' bank accounts. And the emphasis there is on the word suspected, isn't it? Hey, I suspect Keir Starmer of being a people smuggler. There you go, close his bank account. Who has to suspect you? Like, it's absolutely arbitrary, and we know when they give people these completely arbitrary powers to act on the basis of suspicion, they use them over and over and over again to abuse their power and make people's lives a misery. Do you remember how angry everybody got when Nigel Farage was having his bank account closed down? Yeah. Well, guess what? I care more about people who are trying to get across the channel and trying to get their families to safety than I do about Nigel Farage, who is trying to let people die. So if we're going to close down bank accounts, let's get angry about the right ones, shall we? And at this point, it's just become arbitrary, hasn't it? So we're closing down the bank accounts of anybody who the Fash don't like, and we're also closing down the bank accounts of the Fash. I mean, money is illusionary. Get used notes out of the bank now and store them in a mattress, because sooner or later, nobody knows what you'll actually be able to use your bank account or your online banking systems for. They seem to be taking that away from us, and that is a step towards fascism as well. Keir Starmer cements this by saying he will work with anyone who wants to achieve these same aims as him. But the only people who want to stop legitimate refugees getting away from places where they are in danger and taking themselves and their families to places where they are safe, the only people who want to stop that are fascists. It's pretty much like the definition, right? And if you're going to work with fascists, well, you're a fascist, aren't you? That's all there is to it. See you next week. Increasingly, the mainstream media is terrible at informing the public of what is really going on. I'm only able to make these videos because people are generous enough to sponsor me making them, and if you're able to be a part of that, I would hugely appreciate it. It can cost as little as $1 a month, and you'll get loads of fun bonus content and lots of extras from me and my undying gratitude. I also massively appreciate it if you're able to share these videos and let people out there know what's going on.